How do you do, fellow Homo sapiens? Welcome back. I'm Mary, or Hawk. It's been a long time since I've uploaded. I've re-recorded this so many times because articulating myself right now is very difficult for some reason. I'm not used to filming long-form videos anymore. It's been a while. And if you recognize the background of where I am back at the apartments I was at prior to May. Because in May, for those who don't know, I was at psych ward where I was subject to medical malpractice. My actual psych services providers filed a recipient's right complaint on my behalf. Like, I dealt with a lot, and then I wasn't living here until earlier this month, near the start of the month, because I was having a trauma response to this place. But thankfully, my psychiatrist and I have worked out, like, I'm on a low dose SSRI, like 5 milligrams Lexapro, just to hopefully keep me stabilized a bit while I'm adjusting to being back here, and then I can be tapered off that, is what we're hoping for. So that's how things are going. If you've noticed these fancy headphones, my sister, whose place I was staying at, my oldest sister, she got me these, like, Sony noise-canceling headphones, like the brand new ones, the super fancy schmancy ones. Yeah, these are great. I love these. I'm hoping the audio quality has been improved by that. Also, if you're hearing background noise, that's most likely my desktop water fountain over here. If you have a problem with that, let me know, because it's about one of the very few things I can control in terms of background noise, because, well, can't exactly help when the train rolls by past my window at whatever time where, like, my family making noise or my upstairs neighbors making noise. Like, I can't control that, but I can control the desktop water fountain. So if you have constructive feedback with regards to that, I'm all ears, or eyes, brains. I'll process your comment, is what I'm saying. I'll process your comment, think about it, and go, would I like to integrate this feedback into my videos? If so, how? To what degree? Why or why not? Etc. etc. I'll consider it. That doesn't guarantee I'll do it, but I will definitely consider it. And I haven't had income, like consistent income, I should say, since May, which is not great. Been managing to pay my phone bill, but just barely. But I resumed my job, my retail job that I was working at prior to my mental health stuff in May. They put me on personal leave so that when I've recovered, I can go back to working there. I'm going to resume working there on the 2nd of October, and then we'll see. I'm going to see about what I can do in terms of getting my income back to a good spot. Hoping to increase my work hours, possibly to full time if possible, so that might impact my upload abilities, uploading and filming abilities. Also, in November, like late November, I will be a part of my oldest sister's wedding. I'm gonna be a bridesmaid, so I'm sure you can imagine I'm going to be pretty busy. But if I can manage to maybe upload once or twice a month, that's something I'm going to try to do if I can pull it off between everything that's going on, all my doctor's appointments. Like, I'll try, okay? I'll really, really try. I've been going through a lot, as a lot of people have been. I mean, times are tough, the economy is rough, and a lot of people are understandably, myself included, very stressed out, like, especially as an autistic person in the US, like, with things that happened yesterday on the 22nd, like the announcements into, like, these medications that are supposedly for autistic people. I have mixed feelings, and while yes, psych meds are, often very helpful for a lot of people, myself included. I mean, I'm on 5 milligrams of Lexapro right now. I also get concerned because, I've been on medications before that are recommended for autistic people, such as Abilify. I didn't react well to it. I have my concerns. Also, it frustrates me how a lot of, I guess I've experienced a lot of this and noticed a lot of this, especially in the US. I can't speak for everywhere else. I can speak from my lived experience and what I've noticed. But it frustrates me how people, by people I mean like, I guess the narratives, I should say, around autism and the way people treat a lot of people like me, or a lot of autistic people in general, is treat us like a problem to be solved or cured first, and a human being slash person last. That has often been my experience, and from what I've heard from a lot of other autistic people, it's and witnessed, not uncommon. It's really frustrating because, we're human too. We're just as Homo sapien as anyone else, and we're just as worthy of life as anyone else. Regardless of how high or low or medium our support needs levels happen to be, individual to individual, you know, we are human beings, the same as any other human being. I mean, autistic people are complex, variable human beings like anyone else. We just happen to have, autism, which is a genetically inherited neurodevelopmental disability. And, there's nothing wrong with being disabled. There's nothing wrong with having inherited something. It really concerns me the steps this current administration is taking because, human beings. I personally believe the focus should be on connecting to us for the people we are, not based on how comfortable or convenient, mainstream narratives or people in general find us, but like, who we are as people, because we are also people. And just because we happen to have different ways of processing things or brains tend to be different, doesn't mean that we are less worthy of life or, being treated as people. It's just my take personally. Also, for those who are unaware of who I am, I'm also a magical practitioner. A lot of my channel focuses on my spiritual experiences. And I'm really learning to reconnect and renew my practice. I've been trying to for a while, but I'm really putting in the effort. I mean, I have, with my, shrines or like shelves where I have things for various deities, I have rededicated their tools, I've cleaned the shelves, I've cleaned their statues and re-anointed them, and I'm really trying to reconnect not only to my deities, not only my guides, but my higher self. And perhaps some of my videos, I'm hoping moving forward, can have some focus on that, learning to reconnect and renew one's practice. And for those wondering if I have notes, yes, I do. Just little bullet points, not talking points, just little bullet points about the topics, but that's about it. So my ADHD brain doesn't forget. For those who don't know, I'm both autistic and ADHD. So, yeah. Learning to reconnect and really renew and reevaluate what resonates is where I'm at right now. I'm really re-upping my spiritual hygiene as of late, and also just getting more into meditation, quieting my overactive mind to the degree I can, whether it's by incorporating some of the crystals, like as a physical sensory way of weighting myself and kind of a point of focus, but also like the energetics of various crystals to aid me. I like that. Or sometimes I use different mantras. I've been finding that useful. I'm really trying to reconnect with myself spiritually. I have a little citrine crystal. It's not little. This is Zambian citrine. I just have this in my hand because it makes me happy. But yeah, I've been really reconnecting to my practice and also the land that I'm here on. Really connecting to the other beings that exist out there. It's really nice, whether it's my fellow human or perhaps the trees, the birds, grass, the insects. I mean, we're all terrestrial beings of matter. We all inhabit the same planet. We're planetary housemates, and learning to really deepen my connection and appreciation for the world around me is something that I've been focusing on. And self-care, sacred self-care is something I'm focusing on, especially during these turbulent times. Having means of grounding myself and just recentering and not spiraling out of control is very important, especially during these tough times, these tumultuous times. I mean, I believe that is very important. Right now, I believe I'm pretty much have been going through a tower moment. I think collectively, a lot of us have been going through a tower moment, but I just like to remind you all that the star comes after the tower for a reason. Tower, I think of it like a black mold, just like overrun with black mold building that has to be demolished. That building may have held a lot of meaning. There's a lot of people who've been through that building. Maybe it was someone's home. Maybe it was a historical place. You never know. Like, there's a lot of memories and feelings and attachments that people have to, say, that building, but it's no longer safe or sustainable for people to be in, and it can't really be fixed. Sometimes the best thing to do in that instance is for it to be torn down, for this destruction, this upheaval to happen, so that what may be built in its place can be more sustainable and allow people to heal moving forward. Healing isn't linear. It's It's a journey. It's a journey, not a destination. There will always be things to heal from. Always things to work through and to learn and unlearn, really, about the world around us. Perspectives to consider. There will always be things, but, you know, after the tower comes the star, comes the illumination, comes the clarity, the hope, the healing, building anew. There's something more sustainable. Something where people don't have to suffer. Where the pains of the past, anxiety in the present and anxieties in the future may someday in the future, even if I don't live to see it, be not necessarily a factor for people. Those children in the future. I don't know how to articulate very well, but I feel like I've been going through a bit of a tower moment, as a lot of people have, and I'm trying to really learn to keep myself grounded and keep my head up the best I can. I mean, it's very hard. I've definitely had my moments of despair, for sure. I'm trying my best to work through it. There's a lot that I've been going through, but yeah, I just wanted to check in with you all, and I'm really appreciative for those of you who've been sticking around. It really means a lot to me. The fact that anybody watches my videos really means a lot to me. The fact that I have even a single subscriber means a lot to me. The fact that I've, like, as of uploading this, or recording this, I should say, about 930, if I recall correctly. I mean, hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's 930 people who decided that was worth their time enough to hit the subscribe button. That's really awesome, and I really appreciate that. The fact that I even get views at all, like, that means something to me, that people watch any part of any of my videos. Hell yeah, I like that. Getting to, hear people's perspectives and input. I mean, even if I disagree with it, it definitely gives me things to consider. Even if it's just learning about other perspectives that I disagree with, it helps me to formulate, well, why do I disagree, why or why not. And there are some, stances that I am very strongly against, especially when it harms people, especially when it represses people, especially when it means that people are treated like problems to be solved first and people last. That really bothers me. To quote the Oh Hellos from their song Zephyrus, which I think you should listen to. I like the song personally. The quote in that song says something to the effect of, "Are we not threaded by the same weave of the wind, terra firma, and unparted sea? Whether by accident or fortune, you and I, we are matter, and it matters." End quote. But again, that really has been sticking out to me lately, that quote especially. If you haven't listened to that song, I highly recommend, by the way. But yeah, I've been going through a lot, and I've been learning to reconnect and try to see the beauty in the world around me, even though times are tough. Connecting with nature has been really important for me, even if it's just, the plants growing in the sidewalk. Nature persists. There's something beautiful about that. And, learning to honor your fellow planetary housemate, whether Homo sapien or otherwise, is something that has been very important to me. My fellow planetary housemate, of course, too, most likely. So yeah, it's things I've been dealing with, things I've been going through, and I'm hoping to be able to upload more. And for those of you who have been with me, especially those of you who are spiritually inclined or magical practitioners, let me know, as you're comfortable with some of the stuff you've been up to lately. There are particular things that you're working on or studying in your practice that you're comfortable with sharing, that you feel okay with sharing, that you're allowed to share within your tradition, of course. I understand some cultures are closed and some practices are closed. I understand not everything can be shared, but for those of you who are willing to share some of the things that you've been going through lately, your thoughts and feelings about things, let me know. And even if you're, and you're an atheist, say you're an atheist, you don't believe in any deities or anything like that, that's cool too. Like, let me know what you've been thinking about, just what's been going on. I'd love to hear from y'all, my viewers, and I really appreciate you all spending the time watching this video, even if it's 2 seconds of it. It's 2 seconds of your time that you spent listening to me ramble and connect. So with that being said, have a wonderful day. This is Hawk or Mary signing out. Stay magical and be better to your fellow planetary housemate.